was around about 15, I'd left school, I remember that, and I was smoking while I was at work. The reason for it, I don't know. Film stars and pop stars that era in 1962, they were all smoking, so I suppose, you know, my mother and my father smoked, my brother smoked, my sister smoked, so I just assumed that was the norm, not realising how dangerous that really was. My Uncle Reggie, he only had half a lung, and I saw him quite regularly, and he would cries and cries for a cigarette, even though he was dying. That, you would have thought that would have stopped me, but no. I suppose, like all smokers do, that you think that's never going to get you, that's never going to affect you, you've got to escape it all. I think this is the idea that people have. You don't really see the dangers, especially when you're younger. I've got 10 grandchildren, and the main reason I stopped was my youngest grandchild, Tyler. He's nearly 2, and I was frightened, or not frightened, but I was very concerned that he would never know who his granddad was. And I certainly wanted to be around to teach him different things, and so that was some motivation. I've got a little game with me and my grandson Tyler, and that's a little chase game. I let him walk in front of me and I follow him, and we go through all the rooms of the bungalow. And I think to myself sometimes, I couldn't have done that before, because I was getting out of breath. Although I'm 67, I'm looking ahead for when he goes to school, so I can encourage him in different things. And that to me is worth more than winning the football. As a smoker, you think, that's not going to happen to me. But it does. That may not happen straight away, but eventually as the years go by, as I've found out, that do get you. And I'm one of the lucky ones. My advisor, he used to smoke, so he understood what I was going through. And he used to talk me through it. And I remember the first time I said, when I see you in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be a non-smoker. And that's what happened. And each week I went to see him, I wanted to be a non-smoker.
I started smoking when I was 16. Although I didn't buckle to the peer pressure after I left school, my partner was a heavy smoker, and spending a lot of time together, I think it sort of rubbed off on me, unfortunately. So I started smoking sort of about halfway through my 16th year. I started, probably a pack of 10 would last me just over a week, and when you look at other smokers you think, well, you know, the amount that I smoked, I'm obviously not addicted, and then it became sort of a pack of 20 a week, and then it was 10 a day, and I didn't notice it to start with, but then it got to sort of 30, 40 a day when I was only 18 or 19, and it's quite an expensive habit for, you know, a teenager to have at that age, but by that point I obviously was addicted, and, you know, didn't feel there's much I could do. I started to notice probably about 6 months in, when I woke up in the mornings, my mouth felt very like cotton wool, never felt fresh. I started to get a bit of a cough and felt very gunged up, and just walking up the stairs, I had quite a few flights to go up where I worked, was becoming more and more difficult, sort of as the weeks and months went on. Financially, it was taking its toll. I was still living at home, but I wasn't able to afford the normal luxuries that I was used to. I went to my smoke-free clinic, and there was so much support. I went to see the advisor once a week for the first 6 weeks. There was a recognition program with gold stars and certificates. So many distractions I was given, and I had a personal contact number, so there was always that support there any time of day. Because giving up smoking was such a big milestone, one of the big benefits for myself was the financial side of it. Especially living on my own, I noticed a big difference when it came to how much money I had left at the end of the month. Once all the bills were paid, I could go out and treat myself to some new clothes, new shoes. It's that was a massive incentive. One of the biggest benefits when I gave up smoking was the fact that I could run again. It was a big passion for me when I was younger. So one of the targets I set myself after I gave up was to run the 5K Race for Life last year with my mum. And we raised just over £100. It was such a good cause to do it for as well. After having tried to give up smoking before, part of me thought it was never going to happen. But having the support around me to try just that one more time was so helpful. I am proud of myself for doing it, and I'd say to anyone who wants to give up, just go for it. It is the best decision that you'll ever make, and with the amount of help and support around, you can do it.
Hello Sue, lovely to meet you. I'm James.
Nice to meet you.
Please come in, take a seat. Did you find us okay?
I did actually, yes, the silence was
Well, it's really great to come along today. We've used our service before. It costs you as well.
Yeah.
So what's the main reason for you wanting to stop? Breathe in for me now, please. Thank you. This is the Nicorette spray. Very quick working, very minty. To open it, you just flick it on the back here and you flick it up. So this little hole here is where the spray comes out of. You have to push it down quite hard and it comes out like a mist. You want to do that on the inside of the mouth. It's one of the popular products at the moment because it's so discreet that it's really good to use.
Anybody's considering giving up smoking, think of Smokefree Norfolk. Go to the websites, look at the adverts in the papers, get in touch with them people and seek help, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I wish I'd have done it years ago. I really do.